everybody. Okay, I'm not going to spend too long on my face because yeah, I'm not looking hot and my lighting's really rubbish today. I'm just going to get on with the project. I've spent like a good portion of this afternoon planning this project because I had this vision yesterday of what I wanted to do, and it's going to be a bit different. So welcome, it's Ruth here at artfulstampin.co.uk. You know what, I am going to try a little bit of extra lighting because this is just looking a bit odd. If I stand here, it'll be fine. So this is my contribution to the Christmas Stampathon October 2022. Yes. So if you don't know what the Christmas Stampathon is, please do head over to the Facebook group called Christmas Stampathon. I will put the link in the description after this has gone live. And it's basically a kind of, you know, here's a bit of inspiration to get you started with your Christmas projects. So we release an idea every 25th of the month for 10 months out of the year and give you a little bit of a push along to start your Christmas makes. So today's announcement, today's theme is birds and branches. Okay, so you could do birds or branches. You could do birds and branches. All right, it's up to you. And I then noticed that I had a pack of those gorgeous gold leaf embellishments that Stampin' Up! Have done this year. And truth be told, I bought them because I wanted to make earrings out of them. So I have. I've made 4 pairs of earrings that I'm going to show you. And so my part of the project, so the challenge is to actually make 4 cards. All right, why am I holding up 3 fingers? I can't count. 4 cards with the birds and branches theme. So I am making a card, but I am also including a box in the card. Hence, a lot of maths has been happening on this desk today. A lot of throwing bits of paper on the floor has happened today. Boughs and bobbles. No. Birds and branches. Boughs and birds, and that's, yes. Anyway, hello everybody. I'm going to say a quick hello to the live. Hello Valerie, Martina, Sally Joe, Valerie, Kathy, mwah, big love to you. Tina Boven, blah, 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 and Mindy, long time, how are you? Martina, Heidi Solinsky, Annie, Deb, Glenna, Sharon, Linda, Elizabeth, who've I missed? Barb, and everyone else who knows me. There we go. Right, let's get down to desk view. Okay, so where's Janine? Can someone please tell Janine to get here? Okay, because she's going to love this. You know, she's got that Italian blood in her. She loves anything with gold and bling and whatever. Please, can someone just please message Janine? Tell her to get here. All right, I'm going to show you what I've made. Normally I make it and then show you, don't I? But this time I have made a stereotype, a prototype. Janine has a class. It's not good enough. Not good enough, Janine. Oh well, we'll have to get on without her. There we go. Right, so let me show you. Sorry, the background's not very inspirational, is it? It's my grid paper. But anyway, so I have made 4 pairs of earrings. I will show you the earrings first. So we have these gorgeous glittery ones with cut glass and gold filigree. But look, the branches. Then we have, what have we got here? This pair here. It's all very gold and blingy. It really is. Here we go. Oh, Sally Joe will like these as well, I think. Might be a bit too glittery for Sally, but there we go. So little things like that. These are very long. Then when May saw them, she said, oh, can you make something a bit shorter? So I was like, okay, I'll make something a bit shorter. I don't know if she'll wear these. These still might be a little bit blingy for May, but there we go. I got a little birdie. So I know the birdie isn't Stampin' Up. It's just from a bead company. But I thought I'd show you that anyway. Right, so here we go. Here's the box. Are you ready? Are you ready? So the box opens like this from the bottom. And then, ta-da! You've got like a frame inside and it actually does stand. Look, it does stand, so it stands, you know, that way. And oh, could I bring my camera around to show you? I guess I could. If I show it to you on my desk, look, see, they sort of hang down like that. All right, that's just an added bonus, I guess, from just the way that it's constructed. Right, so I'm going to go through with you very carefully the measurements of how to make this. So there we go. And you just need to get a little swig of water, because so it's a card, as I said, card box. So this is my branches element, so I've got my branches in, but of course if you want to add more decor you can do. Right, let's go through then with you the measurements. So to make, we're going to do it in 2 seconds. So initially I tried to do it all in one piece and it hurt my brain too much, so I decided not to do it in one piece. So I've made it in 2 pieces. We're going to make the box first, and then we're going to make the bit that goes over the top to form the front piece of the card. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. I suggest you just watch and enjoy. Don't worry about writing notes, and I'll try and do a blog post with this all in, or on some diagrams. Okay. Unless someone is, I tell you what, is my note taker here, Susan Zastro. She's amazing at taking notes when I do classes. If she comes in, let her know to start taking notes. Oh, right. Are you ready, everybody? Are you ready? So you need to cut a piece, and I'm sorry, I apologize to you that works in centimeters. I just had to go with inches. I will, no, I'm not even going to promise, because my brain already just worked too hard today. Thank you, Mindy. I appreciate your appreciation. Okay, so you're going to cut your cardstock to 5.5 by 7.5 inches. And I've already started this one, but I'll do another one. So let me just double check I've got this correct. 7.5. There we go. I've used white because I quite like it looking nice and clean and fresh and whatever, but use whatever you want. Use whatever colours you want. I cannot be glued to the screen watching Ruth and follow the conversation. That's fine. Just don't be glued to the screen. Just enjoy it. Okay, so I find it easier to just score at 1/2 inch all the way round my piece of cardstock first. All right. I just find that easier. So just do 1/2 inch all the way round your piece of 5.5 by 7.5. Sorry, 7.5. Yes, 5.5 by 7.5. All right. So score 1 inch all the way around. Then pop your cardstock in landscape and score at 3.5 and 4. Now that was easy, wasn't it? That's the easy bit. It now gets a little bit more complicated, because to create the frame inside, what we need to do is we're going to cut this sort of like window and do some extra scoring, because this gets folded back and glued, and this gets folded back and glued, so that you end up with kind of nice frame effect. All right. I decided to keep it, this is actually a simpler way of doing it than some people do it, where they cut at an angle and then you have the frame going that way too, but I decided just to keep it quite simple and just have it at the sides. I then later on decided to add that little flap. So I don't know if you've noticed, there's this little flap in here that I've attached the earrings to. So I don't think people are going to sit there scrutinizing your box making skills. So that's the reason I decided to keep it simple. All right, so are you following me? So then what you do is you push your cardstock in to 4.5 inches. All right, now this is where our trimmers are very useful. If you've got to be able to use the measurements along the side of your trimmer. All right, it's absolutely vitally important. Also, you need to make sure that you know exactly which one is your score tool and which one is your cutting tool. All right. Now, personally, I always have the score at the top and the cutting blade at the bottom. That's just me. That's the way that I've done it for many years, and having it the same way each time just makes it easier for me. Now, occasionally they do fall out, but I just make sure that I put them in exactly the same way. All right. So that's just a tip from me. Always have them the same way. All right, so let's go through the measurements together slowly. I make jewellery and this is wonderful. Oh, fantastic. You keep making your soup, Linda. Keep making soup. Right, so put your cardstock in at 4.5. And what you need to do is have your score blade at 1 inch. All right, now I'm a little bit far from my blade, but score tool, but anyway. And then we're going to score all the way down to 4.5 inches. All right, so you just get down. Now, once you get close to the 4 mark, if it's easier, what I do then is release the pressure from pushing down, and I get it to the 4.5 and then push back up. All right, so rather than hard, and oh no, I missed it, just do from 1 to 4, then go from 4.5 up. All right, open the door, as it were, move to 5 inches, and we're going to do that all again. We're going to go from 1, okay, down to near to 4, then go from 4.5 and up. Okay, so that was 5. Now at 5.5, we're going to cut. This is the scary bit now. So we're going to cut from 1 inch, 1 inch down to 4.5. So just take your time to get down there. And there we have it. All right, and then move your cutting blade out the way. Then you're going to move to 6, score again from 1 to 4.5. I nearly said 4:30 then. 1 to 4:30. No, 1 to 4.5. And then move it to 6.5. And this is the last one of these that we're going to do. I'm going to score from 1 to 4.5. All right, so you can see you've got your scores and your cuts cut there. All right, so then what you're going to do is you're going to turn the paper around, anti-clockwise, so all the score and cut sections are at the top, and you're going to place your card in at 1 inch. Okay, but move the score blade out the way, and you are going to cut from, let me just double check this, from 1 to 3. That's it. Oh yes, I wrote the numbers there. Ha ha ha. Right, so you're going to move your blade up there. Now what I find, I've got to stand up for this now, is if I put my blade, before lowering my little door here, I'm going to get it at 1 inch there, then close it down so I know it's exactly in the right place before pulling it then to 3. All right, then lift it up, move along to 4.5 inches, and again go from 1, I think I've done this right, I hope I've done this right, to 3. Oh, yes, I did it. Woohoo! Okay, right, so that's that cutting done for that section. Then, now this is where actually having the 2 pieces means that you can be a little bit more careful in how you do this. So what you then need to do is cut yourself a piece of cardstock, and you need to do this just double check, it's 3 inches, 3 inches wide. All right, so you need to cut your piece of cardstock 3 inches. So this is the back panel now. Oh no, it's not, it's the front panel, sorry, it's the front panel. And then what I did was I turned my cardstock and scored it at 1/2 inch. Okay, sorry, not scored it at half. Yeah, if you did it that way. If you did it that way, it would be 1/2 inch, but sometimes it's just easier to be able to hold a whole piece and do it at 1/2 inch. So I scored 1/2 inch there. Now, what I discovered, where's my box gone? Oh, where have I put it? Oh, where have I put that my actual box? Oh, I put it somewhere so safe. Oh, who's stolen it already? I've obviously just put it somewhere so safe now that oh, here it is. I can't find it. Oh, goodness sake, Ruth. All right, so what I found was once the box was made up, even though I had kind of like scored everything really tightly, this is meant to measure sort of 4.5 inches wide, but it's more like 4.5 plus an eighth. Okay, so I don't even know where my prototype has gone actually, but when I did my prototype, I ended up just having this section be a little bit shorter. So that's why it's best to do this separate. So the reason I've also scored this end bit here was I just felt it was nice to be able just to reinforce the bottom of it a little bit, because just having a plain piece of paper just cut at the edge, sometimes it makes it quite prone to being knocked or whatever, but having it folded back, it just made it a little bit stronger. Now, if you wanted to be extra strong, of course, you could just have it go all the way up to there. That's up to you, but I just felt like that it just strengthened it. Right, so the reason I'm saying that to you is when you turn this round, obviously this measures approximately 4.5, but instead of then scoring this at 5, I'm going to actually score it at 5 1/8. I'm just going to give it an extra bit of love. All right, and then along the top here as well, although I scored everything at 1/2 inch, I just need to give it an extra little bit of love there. So I'm going to move it on so that score line is at 1/2 inch plus an eighth. So that technically then takes me to 5 5/8 there. Okay, and I'm going to score again. And then I'm just going to cut that off. Although, theoretically, I could make it go all the way. Just thinking, I could make that go all the way down to the bottom. And that would look really tidy, wouldn't it? So I might do that. I'm changing what I'm doing. And I'm just going to do the nail trick and see where that takes me. So I think when you're making a nice box like this, it's good to just give it an extra bit of... Okay, so that takes us to 10 1/4. All right. Oops. 10 1/4 there. All right, you guys are going to have to re-watch that to jot down those numbers. Janine's come! Yay! Janine, look at these lovelies. Okay, so we're making, for those of you who've just joined, we're making a box, and the theme is birds and branches. So it's a card box. Okay, it's still technically a card. People on the Stampathon team, before they start shouting at me going, you didn't make a card, you made a box. It is, it's a card box, and it's to house a pair of earrings. Right, we're going to keep going, guys. So the next bit is kind of the construction. So you need to make sure you've got your bone folder or something equivalent just to help burnish all the score lines now. So take your time doing this and make sure that it's all done properly. Don't be too hasty, because sometimes, when you go to burnish something, if you're a bit too fast, you can damage your paper, or make it go the wrong fold or whatever. So hello, Sheila. Hello. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me on this. I'm doing this live, but if you're watching on the replay, thank you so much for coming by. Also, if you're joining us from the Christmas Stampathon Facebook, thank you. It's been going a number of years, this Stampathon group, and it's had different team members over the time, but at the moment we've got the lovely Ellen in Australia, we have Esther on it, we have Shirley, and we all make something using the theme that we've set. And we then give it over to you guys for the rest of the month, and you just start putting your pictures up of what you've made underneath the post that we've announced it. And then we pick 4 winners. So you may win, and I promise I will send one of these to somebody who takes part this month. All right, you will get a pair of earrings and you will get the box. So it's a bit of a special one this month. So, all right, so we've scored and burnished, and now we're going to just do a little bit of trimming here. So I'm going to make it easy and just cut into these little sections here. Just going to cut little tiny little V's out of them. Now I could, I guess, fold these over and do it. Let me just see if that works. I do this occasionally where I just fold it over and cut up to that mark. Yeah, it could happen. It's just that I'm using slightly thicker card. Well, I'm not using thicker card, so I'm using the thick card. I'm using Stampin' Up's thick card. Okay, so there. I think I'm just going to go back to the V's really. Right, now I have figured out, I think the first thing to do is to construct this section here first, all right? Because you have to do a little bit of jiggery pokery when you come to sticking this down into it. So I find it's easier to do all the gluing of this section first. So I did use wet glue. If you want to use tape, that's absolutely fine, but I found wet glue was perfectly adequate. It also allowed me, you see this little section here, normally we'd be looking to get that absolutely kind of square, but it's okay to make it go in a little bit more because we're going to wrap this one around it. Okay, so it's okay to push it in a little bit more. Right, so I'm going to just push all these flaps in. Make sure that's, oh, hold on, let me just cut that a bit more, sorry. I'll try and get it as neat as possible. Oh, right, we're getting there, we're getting there. Now, if you want to have your spare fingers, you know what I call spare fingers, your pegs, if you want to have those on hand, you can do. So I'm going to put a nice blob there, but not too much. I'm going to spread it around a little bit, just to help it, because we want all that all stuck down. And hold that to there, and hold that to there, and count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be a cute, put a Hershey bar in it. It would be, yes. The only thing I thought was it's taking me about as long to make these blooming card boxes as it does to make the earrings. So I think it'd have to be a very special Hershey bar if you're going to go to all this bother to make this kind of box for them. Maybe a Hershey bar and, I don't know, a $20 bill. Oh no, Martine, you've been shouting at little boys. Oh dear. Okay, so now this section. Oh, did I? Just checking. I did burnish that, yeah. So make sure you burnish the spine area. That's got to, you know, sit nicely. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put a bit of glue. See how I folded those bits in? I'm going to put a little bit of glue along here. And actually, I would recommend using wet glue for this because you do need to have a bit of wiggle room when you do this. I'm going to push that down onto it and then flip it round. And I'm sort of holding this section down at the same time, and I'm pushing these pieces in. And as I'm pushing with my thumb, I'm then pushing down with my forefingers to make sure that that stays down. Just gonna have a little check to see what's going on there. Oh, it's gone a bit too far in. Okay, I wondered why that had gone too far. Okay, so I'm sort of pushing down and I'm pushing inwards to try and get that to stick. Right, then we need to put a bit of glue along here, a little bit on that flap and that flap, and then we also need to put glue along here and along here. Sorry about the shadow. Then we'll push that in to hug it. Come on, in you go. That's it. Do the old 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then push this one down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gift cards can seem so boring sometimes. This would be so much prettier. That's true. Okay, I'm just trying to hold everything in place and give it all a good rub. Now, if these flaps insist on coming out like they are now, what you can do is get your bone folder and put your finger here and give that a bit of a rub with your bone folder on the inside there. Right, why does it keep insisting on popping up? Oh, I know why, because there's no glue on that little bit there. I'll just pop a little bit more glue because it just wants a bit more glue love there. Yeah, crocodile clips would help, yeah. But the thing is, when you get to this stage, it's just a case of just rubbing it. I mean, you can use rather sticky tape for these last sections. Just I don't advise you use tape for that, but although this one is being a bit of a pain. I didn't have this problem before. I don't know why it's doing this, and I can't get anything in there to push it down. It's just insisting on flipping. I'm just gonna try and shove some glue down it. There we go. All right, so then it comes to attaching this section. I'm going to just stick a block on that for a moment to get it to stick. Right, so this is our little flap for the front, and I'm going to just stick that down like so, just for that extra bit of reinforcement. Oh, sorry, I got the glue going everywhere. And then I want to show you how I did the decoration. So I cut myself a piece of cardstock that measured just under 3 by 4.5. So it was basically 3.5 minus an eighth, 4.5 minus an eighth. And I pre-cut using the Aspen branch die, and this is supposed to be rose gold, but it's got that weird shimmer to it. Can you see that kind of like rainbow effect? So it actually, there's like 3 different types. There's like a matte rose gold, just a shiny rose gold, and then there's this weird iridescent one, which I didn't realise I picked out. I just grabbed it. So what I did was I deliberately cut this slightly bigger than the space that I needed it for, because I didn't want it all to fall apart. If I just cut out a square piece of cardstock like this and then run it through, I was in danger of like losing bits. That's what my fear was anyway. I don't know if that would happen, but anyway, this is the way I've done it. So what I'm going to do is then stick these elements to here, and I'm just look. Now, if you're a bit of a person who likes it white on white, that would look lovely, but I quite like the contrast of the copper, and it's kind of nice and blingy because, you know, the earrings are blingy, aren't they? So then you just need to add a few little spots of glue to the trees, basically, try and sort of get to the fatter portions of the trees, and because when you squish this down onto the card, you don't really want all that glue coming out from under the trees. So you add your glue like so, then you add the card to it, roughly in the middle somewhere. Give that a good press down. And we're just going to get the scissors out and cut it to trim it. Look, I've added a bit too much glue there. So you just hold it and just carefully go up the side of the card. Good. I wonder, you might be able to use your rectangular die on this. Or if you've used your, you can get that adhesive sticky paper stuff. You could, if you don't want to do all that gluing. Just going to put that there. Then do that. I mean, I also thought of cutting these branches out with white glimmer paper. That would look really lovely, wouldn't it? Be so pretty. Right, there we go. So that's going to be my decoration on the front. So I'm just going to stick that on. Got to have some bling, yeah, indeed. To go with our blingy earrings. Oh, what were we talking about? Some Lynn Redgrave. I would glue myself up doing this. Oh, Shaz. Yeah, don't even attempt to do this until you're better. Still refusing to kind of stick that, but anyway. All right, so this then is going to go over the top, around the back. Because I guess it does look a bit neater doing it that way. Now I'm holding it and I'm realising I just need to cut a little slither off the back panel because it's overhanging slightly. So I'm just going to take maybe a 1/16 of an inch off there. Right, now I wonder if I'm going to try the tear tape for this now. See if it's any easier. I'm going to go right up to the edge there, in case it has any ideas about trying to come away. Just thought, actually, I'm not sure if this is the Stampin' Up one. I've just grabbed this, but I'm not sure. Anyway, the Stampin' Up tear and tape is brilliant. Right, so the trick is push, push, push before trying to peel it off. Oh, she says. Some people like using their scissors as well, or their pokey tools to. Oh no, that's not going to work. All right, you've got to push, push. Don't forget to push. I should do it with my nail. Actually, I probably should do this one first. Get that stuck on. I've done this in completely the wrong order. Oh well. Do as I say, not as I do. Right, there is not really a right way up or wrong way up for this. So let's just pull this close enough to here. And then I'm going to fold that over. And then fold that around the back. Oh, see, that does want to come away. Don't be naughty. Don't be naughty. Come on. A good rub. Right, there we go. There we have it. So that's our branches box done. Now, just to pop your earrings actually in the box. So this is, I can show these earrings off again because Janine's here now. So we've got these blingy pair here with these pretty glass beads. Ooh, there we go. So which ones shall I give away, guys? So this one's got the bird and a branch and the little dangly diamante there. And that's the shorter pair. I mean, I think if you're going to have a pair, you just got to have, you know, a big pair. And then this is the other pair. Got like little, it's almost like he's got a little umbrella above him. So to then stick that little section in to actually put your earrings on, you just need to put your earrings in to figure out how high up it needs to go. So if I'm going to put, say, these ones in, I don't need it as high as that one. So I just got a scrap of cardstock, and then scored it at about, let me do that one, about 3/4 of an inch, and then cut it a little less, about 1/2 inch from the score line. And this is where you do need your pokey tool. And if you've got your mat to hand, have your mat as well, because you've got to poke a couple of holes for the earring to be able to get through, like that. Now I actually just put them in first. Where did I get the birds? I think I got them from a company called Beads Unlimited. It's a UK-based company, but I'm sure they'd be available or something similar in the States. They're just you know, cast metal, what they call charms. Yeah. All right, so I've put a little bit of glue on there, and I very carefully just pop it into there. Try and get it halfway. See where that hangs. Oh, I don't actually need it to be that high up. I'll do. Give that a little bit of a press. And then there we go. So that's all, folks. So if you wanted to decorate yours in a different way, please do. Initially, I was thinking of putting in, you know, doing different papers and things. But also, if you wanted to perhaps line this, you could do, you know, you could stick a piece in the back before you did it. I quite like the simplicity of the white, plus I'm lazy, and just have the you know, the dramatic kind of effect of the coppery rose gold effect foil. But yeah, there we go. There we have it. Hold it. Hold it. What do you mean, hold it? Yeah, I have over the weekend I made a lot of jewelry, a lot of earrings and things. We had some visitors on Saturday. We had some friends visiting, and their daughter loves making jewelry, and it had been her birthday. So I took a lot of my beads and stuff, which is normally kept in my studio. I put them in the main house, and they were there still on Sunday afternoon. So I thought, oh, I really fancy making some jewelry. So I decided just to get making some. And oh, and then the other thing that happened was my girlfriend, my school friend, who I have I think mentioned on some of my social media. She has an Etsy store, and she contacted me, and we had a bit of a chat about selling on Etsy. And she sells she in the past she has sold like really lovely semi-precious things, and she was just talking about, hold the glued part. Oh right, okay. Anyway, so she just kind of spurred me on, and I thought, oh, maybe I need to get back into making jewellery, and a local shop wants a few more of my bits, and I thought, well, maybe I should list stuff on Etsy. And yeah, because I do enjoy it. Sorry, the glued part, that one. Oh, you have the same charms. Ah, okay. Is that what you wanted to see, Linda? How I did that? So the whole box measures 3 by 4.5, 3 by 4.5, and then it's 1/2 inch deep. So it feels fairly sturdy. So there we go. Yeah. Yeah, initially I thought of just putting a hole in the back, through the back, but then I thought, I don't think I like the idea of the hook sticking out the back. So that's just a simple way of dealing with that, with a scrap piece of cardstock, just to stick a little flap on that. I haven't yet, Shaz, but I am thinking I would like to go on there and do a video. I might do one tonight. If I quickly run into the house, I could go and do a video on my other channel, but I might just, when I have a moment, film it and then put it on there. Yeah, and go through how I made them. But these gold leaves, Stampin' Up, everybody. Yeah, they're in the current catalogue as an embellishment, and I think they're dreadfully pretty. Dreadfully pretty. I think there may be also some other branches in the mini catalogue. I don't know, has anyone got them? Or is it these ones? Oh, hold on. I've just told a lie. Mistakenly told a lie. Sorry. There are these ones in the main catalogue. Sorry. No, the gold branches are in the mini. Yeah. Oh, sorry. There they are. The open leaf trinkets. Page 65. I thought they were too good to put on the card. There we go. £7.50 for 20 pieces, which is not, that's not bad. That is that £7.50 divided by 20 pieces? That's 37.5 pence each. 40 pence each for quite a, it's a really solid charm. I mean, it's probably casted, so I wouldn't try and bend it in any way. That would damage it. Oh, Judy has it. Judy has the gold leaves. Yeah. So and it very nicely you're able to hang that little charm off the end. I did think about hanging more charms off these leaves, but I wasn't sure. I might still have a go doing that. All right. So there we go. Birds and branches. I think tick. I've done that theme justice. I still got to make 2 more because apparently we've got to make 4. But I've definitely made the 4 earrings anyway. So there we go. Right, if anyone has any questions, please let me know. I will try very hard to write up the instructions for this. I am using PicMonkey a lot more to be writing out instructions for my class attendees. So I'm kind of getting better at it, creating diagrams and things. So you never know. I may come up with one yet. So lots of love to you all. Take care, Janine. Take care, everybody. Please remember to give me a thumbs up. It's your way of just showing me a little bit of love and appreciation for my video. If you really love me, really, really, really love me, do you love me? You could also please share this out with any friends that you think might like it, might enjoy it. And if you do make some of these yourself, please do go to Artful Stampin Space and show me your versions. I'd love to see lots of different versions of these. Come on, people. You've already been brilliant about Monday. I've seen some examples of Monday's video. And what was the other thing? Oh, and then of course you can shop with me. Links are in the description. And if you can't shop with me but love to support my channel, then there's links to PayPal as well. There we go. Take care, everybody. Take care, Serene. Oh, Serene, I think I could see you doing this with some pretty stamping on the front. I tell you what, now I've gone to this bother of this pattern, I'm going to have to... I'm going to be making these every year, I think, now, in some different form or other. I do think, what about if we did it like that and then had it opening, a side opening? Oh, you could do like a whole row of like little mini earrings. Imagine that. You could have, if you did it as a different opening from that way, you could have like 3 pairs of earrings going across there. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Anyway, the mind boggles. Right, lots of love to you all. Thank you so much for joining me, and please do subscribe here if you haven't subscribed already. And if you'd like a catalogue, please do drop me an email at ruthtrice@gmail.com. And also please go